Hey, Jay here. We're up with our latest project. It's a Transworld poster bike, 2017 KTM 450 SXF. Kind of the top of the food chain lately. I never thought I'd be here with a KTM saying this is one of the best bikes, but it is. Got the new air forks that we really like, strong motor, great brakes, hydraulic clutch, all those things that we like in a KTM. And it's a race-proven bike. So we're gonna show you everything we did to this thing. You don't have to do a ton of the stuff to these bikes. We do it because we can. So here's what we got. Okay, so one of the things we want to address is we just had Race Tech just tune on the suspension. We like the stock stuff a lot. So they just set it up for our weight and skill set here, and we didn't want to go drastically different than stock because the stuff is so good stock. We also have the X-Trig clamps, which are very trick, provide real even clamping pressure around. You have multiple settings where to set your bars and so forth, and they look just amazing. One of the main things we wanted to do was paint the frame on this thing orange. We don't have a factory edition, which come orange, so we went ahead and powder coated the frame while it was apart. While it was apart, we also added the Imf Catch-Can for any overflow, which goes inside the frame. Faster USA makes complete hubs, kind of a race setup wheel, and they mounted those up with some DID rims. Really good looking and heavy duty wheel set. We also use the Tusk Rotors, front and rear, with their hardware and the sprocket bolts as well. So the stock pegs are wider and better than a lot of the other stock pegs, but they can use a little bit wider footprint and sharper, which the Scar pegs, the titanium ones, have. The Cycra skid plate is plastic, doesn't resonate, provides really good protection for the motor and frame on this bike. We have the CV4 hoses on here. You can get those in a multitude of colors. We went with orange to match our completely over-oranged bike. Our rider on this bike, he prefers the grip tape on the side of the frame rather than plastic frame guards, so he feels more comfortable on the bike. I like the plastic frame guards. You don't have to mess with them. The grip tape you'll have to change out regularly. For the motor, we kept it really simple. We just added a high compression piston, which it probably doesn't really need, but it was pretty fun for guys who are just wanting more power. And then Jamie Ellis at Twisted mapped a Vortex ECU for us, so this thing just really is just spot on and barks. To go with the rest of the motor mods, we put a 2-stroke air filter cage, which gets rid of the backfire screen. That's just a stock one. Simple deal with no backfire screen. You can buy a 2-stroke 17 cage, put it in there. FMF pipe and silencer, which we had in part 1 as well. And we're running some VP U4.4 today as well. We also have the high temp cap from a CV4, give us a little bit added pressure before it blows over. So this thing's obviously got a very overwhelmingly orange look to it. We've got all brand new Cycra plastic from fork guards, fender, there's the Pro Light fender, the new number plate, integrated cable guide, really slick stuff. Decal Works made some very custom looking graphics for it, with Travis at Motoseat making us a cool custom seat cover to match the entire project. Works Connection makes a lot of cool little bling bits, and we also have the starting device to help us on some dirt starts. Team Design Works makes some great heavy duty pieces for your chain guides and rear chain sliders in the back. These things are bulletproof. They work really well for off-road or moto use. We have our Super Sprox chain and sprocket on here. Really cool setup. Longer life we've seen with these new aluminum sprockets, and for heavy duty use, their stealth sprockets are steel and aluminum combined. And of course, as with all my projects, we have to mount up some Dunlop MX3S tires, which are just the best all-around tire you can get. We have the Hinson cover, which is cool, adds a little bit of capacity, also with their fiber spring steel kit for the clutch plates. We have our old school Spider grips on here for our old guy that's gonna be riding this bike. He likes these style grips, along with our Renthal fat bars. Got our 604 bin, a lot taller than the stock KTM bin, which we aren't really fond of. One of the few things we're not on the stock KTM. We like these bend-up bars we've been running for a long time. All right, so Dustin Hoffman and I have been spinning some laps here at Kauai, and this thing's amazing. The bike's amazing stock, and I was kind of worried that, you know, mapping the ECU, the higher compression pipe, everything would be too much. It's still smooth. Again, this bike is still too much for me, stock or mod, but surprisingly, it is very rideable and smooth. Suspension's really good. Race Tech got it if they could have, it's hard to imagine, but even plusher than what I feel like it was, and doesn't deflect, has some good bottom resistance, we feel like, and kind of good for me and my other buddy Donnie, and even a faster guy with Dustin riding it. It seems to work in a broad range there. So really fun deal. We had a great time shooting this thing, and hopefully you enjoy.